Imagine traveling 3 billion miles from the warmth of the sun. The light still reaches you here, but it has lost everything that made it matter. No warmth, no seasons, no life. The sun behind you is 900 times dimmer than it was on Earth, no longer a star you live by, just a sharp point of light fading into the dark. This is Neptune, the last of the giants, the final world before the dark. And we did not find it by looking, we calculated it into existence. For decades, something had been pulling at the orbit of Uranus, a slow, patient deviation. An invisible hand, bending the path of a planet. No one could see what was doing it, they could only measure the effect. Astronomers followed the pull, ran the numbers, and pointed a telescope at the answer. In 1846, Neptune appeared, exactly where the equations said it would. The numbers were never a guess, they were an address, a world we located before we ever saw it. And since the night we first recorded it, Neptune has completed exactly one orbit around the Sun. Roughly 165 years of silent passage through the dark, while we built cities, fought wars, and reached for the moon. In all that time, Neptune barely moved. It does not run on our clock, it runs on its own. And it was turning out there exactly as it does now, long before there was anyone to name it. From a distance, Neptune looks calm, a blue world wrapped in pale cloud, serene almost. The color of still water, of something at rest. Do not trust it. Beneath that surface, beneath what looks like stillness, this planet holds the most violent atmosphere in the solar system. Not the loudest, not the most visible, the most violent by measure. Winds here exceed 2,000 kilometers per hour. Faster than the speed of sound, a sound that could never catch up to itself. If you stood at that cloud layer, your body would not register the wind. No impact, no warning. You would be part of the movement before you understood it had begun. And no one can explain where the energy comes from. Neptune receives almost nothing from the sun. At this distance, sunlight is barely a rumor. And yet the winds accelerate. The storms organize. Something inside the planet is generating heat. We don't know what. We don't know why. We only know that whatever it is has been doing it for billions of years. In 1989, Voyager 2 photographed a storm in Neptune's southern hemisphere. A dark, spinning absence the size of Earth. They called it the Great Dark Spot. Years later, Hubble looked for it. It was gone. Not weakened, not shifted, gone. As if it had never been there at all. Jupiter's Great Red Spot has turned for centuries. Neptune erases its own and builds new ones somewhere else with no warning and no pattern we can read. The most powerful weather in the solar system, on one of the coldest worlds we know, running on a fuel source we have never identified. A planet that should be frozen, and isn't. Go deeper, past the wind, past the cloud layer, past anything that resembles atmosphere. Thousands of kilometers down, the pressure becomes something that changes matter itself. Neptune's gravity bears down on carbon, the same element at the core of every living thing we have ever found, and compresses it, crushes it, rearranges it. Scientists believe that deep within the mantle, carbon is forced into crystalline structure at pressures millions of times greater than the air pressing on you now. It rains, downward, through a superheated liquid interior, as diamonds. Not as metaphor, as physics, supported by laboratory experiments on Earth for fractions of a second at a time. Diamonds the size of boulders, falling through an ocean that would reduce any known material to something unrecognizable. They reach the core, they do not resurface, a treasure sealed inside a world that will never open. Now consider the compass. Most planetary magnetic fields follow a pattern, north and south, roughly tied to the spin of the planet. Earth's is tilted by 11 degrees, imperfect but coherent. Neptune's is tilted by nearly 50, and it does not come from the center of the planet. It is offset, displaced. As if the magnetism inside Neptune is being generated by something that isn't where it should be. We don't know what is down there. We only know the compass is broken, and the planet does not care that we can't read it. And then there is Triton, Neptune's largest moon, the only large moon in the solar system that orbits against its planet's spin, turning the wrong way. Everything about it suggests it did not form here. It came from the Kuiper Belt, the frozen field at the edge of the solar system, and Neptune captured it, pulled it in. That capture would have been catastrophic. Moons displaced, paths destroyed, the whole system reordered in geological seconds. Triton paid a price for surviving it. Every orbit, every single pass, it moves fractionally closer. The tidal forces are pulling it inward, at a rate that ends in roughly 3 to 4 billion years, with Triton crossing the Roche limit, the point where Neptune's gravity overwhelms the Moon's own structure. Triton will not fall into Neptune. It will come apart before it gets there. The pieces will spread outward. For a while, Neptune may wear the remains of Triton as a ring system, not bright and golden, but thin, dark, and frozen. The planet that once tore a world from its path and claimed it will, in time, reduce it to geometry. A ring of what was once a world, still circling, long after every human name has been forgotten. We sent one probe to Neptune. 1. Voyager 2 passed through in 1989, a flyby, not a stop, moving too fast to linger, taking what it could in the hours it had. Almost everything we know about Neptune came from those few hours, in a single pass, more than 3 decades ago. We have not been back. There is no mission in transit, no probe on the way. The most distant planet in the solar system, and we gave it an afternoon. The next proposed mission would take 2 decades just to arrive, if it were funded today. It is not. For now, Neptune stays beyond reach, known to us more through mathematics than through anything we have measured. The offset magnetic field alone challenges what our models of planetary interiors would predict. And the universe does not care that our models are incomplete. It continues regardless. Neptune, 3 billion miles from the warmth that made life possible, continues. Its winds have not slowed. Its interior has not cooled. Triton circles, a fraction of a degree closer with every pass, patient, unaware, already committed to an ending it will never experience. You are here, held by a gravity that lets you stand, warmed by a star close enough to matter. And out there, past the last giant, the dark has been running without us for 4.5 billion years. It will go on running long after we stop. It does not require our attention. It does not require anything at all.